Hey folks, welcome back to Stoic Relationships. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly capture attention and keep their partners deeply intrigued, while others struggle to connect? Relationships, whether romantic or otherwise, thrive on meaningful communication. And yet, in today's fast-paced world, where distractions are everywhere and genuine connections feel fleeting, mastering the art of communication has never been more essential. In this video, we're diving deep into how high-value individuals communicate in relationships. We'll uncover powerful techniques that not only enhance your interactions, but also leave a lasting impression on the people who matter most to you. Whether you're building a new connection, strengthening an existing bond, or even navigating tricky dynamics, the insights we'll explore today can truly transform how others perceive and respond to you. Let's be real for a moment. It's easy to get caught in patterns of over-explaining, constantly reaching out, or even trying too hard to impress. But the truth is, high-value communication isn't about doing more. It's about doing things differently. It's about creating a balance between intrigue and openness, between giving and receiving. It's about making every word and gesture count, so the people in your life can't help but miss you when you're not around. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're giving too much in a relationship, only to feel overlooked or underappreciated? If that hits close to home, this video is for you. Today, we're breaking down the communication strategies that high-value people naturally embody. These are the tools that not only make your presence felt, but ensure you're respected and cherished for who you truly are. From mastering the art of mystery to creating unforgettable conversations, and even understanding how to use absence as a tool for connection, each tip we'll discuss is rooted in practical wisdom. And if you're thinking, Stoic communication, how does that even work? Don't worry, we'll tie everything back to timeless Stoic principles, showing you how to maintain your inner calm and confidence while building relationships that thrive. But here's the catch. This isn't about playing games or manipulating others. High-value communication is authentic. It's about showing up with intention, understanding your worth, and fostering genuine connections that are built to last. We'll discuss how to keep things exciting, spark emotional impact, and create dynamics where others feel drawn to you, not because of tricks, but because of the value you bring. So, stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll have the tools to transform how you interact with others, leaving them not just thinking about you, but deeply missing your presence. And don't just watch. Join the conversation. Share your thoughts in the comments and let me know which tips resonate most with you. All right, folks, let's get started. Number 1, the mystery effect. Keep them hooked. Hey, folks, let's dive into this together. Have you ever noticed how the most intriguing people seem to have an aura of mystery about them? It's like you can't quite figure them out, and that keeps you hooked, right? Now, when it comes to relationships, this isn't about playing mind games or being manipulative. Instead, it's about cultivating a sense of depth and allure that naturally draws others in. Let's break this down. Why is mystery so compelling? Well, it's human nature to be curious. We're wired to want what we can't fully understand. When someone feels like they already know everything about you, they might appreciate you, but they don't necessarily feel that magnetic pull. Mystery, on the other hand, keeps the emotional spark alive. It's like a story with chapters yet to be written. You become someone they want to keep discovering. So, how do you cultivate this sense of mystery? It starts with maintaining your individuality. Too often, in relationships, people make the mistake of sharing every single detail about themselves up front. While honesty and openness are important, there's a beauty in holding back just a little. Share your thoughts, your dreams, your quirks, but leave some room for curiosity. Let them wonder about your next move, your hidden layers, or even what makes you tick. Here's an example. Imagine you're on a date and they ask about your favorite travel memory. Instead of launching into a full-blown travelogue, share just enough to captivate them. Say something like, "I once had an unforgettable adventure in a little town tucked away in the mountains. I'll tell you about it sometime. It's a story worth saving." See what that does? You're creating intrigue, and they'll want to know more. You've given them a reason to stay engaged. Another way to keep the mystery alive is by maintaining a life outside of the relationship. High-value people don't revolve their entire existence around one person. They have passions, hobbies, and goals that keep them interesting. When you have your own fulfilling life, it naturally makes you more attractive. It sends a powerful message. I'm complete on my own, but I choose to share parts of myself with you. That's the kind of energy that keeps people invested. Now, let's talk about communication. Being mysterious doesn't mean being aloof or distant. It's about intentionality. When you speak, aim to be meaningful and impactful. Share insights or perspectives that make them pause and think. Avoid oversharing every little thought or feeling immediately. It's okay to let things unfold naturally. This doesn't mean you're hiding your true self. It means you're presenting it thoughtfully, bit by bit. Here's a relatable analogy. Think of yourself as a beautifully written book. If someone skims through the whole story in one sitting, they might enjoy it, but it's not as impactful as savoring each chapter. Relationships are no different. The slow reveal keeps things fresh and exciting. It gives the other person a sense of journey and anticipation, and that's powerful. Stoic philosophy adds an interesting layer here. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Applying this to relationships, your ability to stay composed and hold back when necessary shows immense inner strength. It tells others that you're not desperate for validation or approval. Instead, you're confident in your worth, and that's magnetic. But let me be clear, folks, mystery isn't about manipulation or withholding affection. It's about maintaining a sense of self and embracing the value of anticipation. It's about giving people the chance to truly appreciate who you are, one layer at a time. Now, before we move to the next section, let's make this interactive. What's one way you've added a touch of mystery to your relationships? Or, if this is new to you, how do you plan to start? Drop your answer in the comments with the words "Mystery Master" so we can keep this conversation going. And hey, if this resonates with you, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for more insights into high-value communication and relationships. Let's uncover even more together. All right, on to the next piece of the puzzle. Number 2, emotional impact. Make conversations unforgettable. Hey folks, welcome back. Let's talk about something that takes your communication to the next level. Making conversations unforgettable. Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling like it changed you? Maybe it inspired you, made you laugh uncontrollably, or even tugged at your heartstrings. That's the kind of emotional impact we're diving into today, and it's one of the most powerful ways to leave a lasting impression on someone. So, why is emotional impact so important? It's simple. People might forget your words, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. Conversations that spark emotions, whether joy, curiosity, or even a touch of mystery, create deep connections. They resonate long after the words fade. Think of it as planting seeds in someone's memory. Over time, those seeds grow, and they can't help but think about you. Here's the secret. Emotional impact isn't about being overly dramatic or intense. It's about authenticity and intention. You don't need to pull out grand declarations or heavy speeches to leave an impression. Instead, focus on small but meaningful exchanges. Let your words reflect genuine curiosity, care, and a desire to connect. Let me paint a picture. Imagine you're in a conversation and the person mentions they've been feeling a bit stuck in their career. Instead of offering generic advice, ask them something deeper. What's one thing you'd do tomorrow if there were no limitations? This question isn't just a throwaway line. It shows that you're paying attention and genuinely interested in their dreams and challenges. It gives them permission to open up and explore their feelings. Another way to create emotional impact is through storytelling. Stories are incredibly powerful because they're relatable and evoke emotions naturally. Share a personal anecdote that ties into the conversation. For example, if you're talking about overcoming obstacles, you might share a time when you faced a challenge and what you learned from it. The key is to be honest and vulnerable. People connect more deeply with you when they see your humanity. Now, let's touch on the balance of listening and speaking. High-value communication isn't just about dazzling others with your words. It's also about making them feel heard. Active listening is a game changer. When someone shares something personal, don't just nod absent-mindedly. Engage. Ask follow-up questions that show you're genuinely invested in their thoughts. It's in these moments of attentiveness that emotional connections thrive. Body language also plays a huge role here. Even the most heartfelt words lose their impact if your body says otherwise. Maintain eye contact, not in a staring contest way, but in a natural, steady way that conveys interest. Lean slightly forward to show engagement. And don't forget to smile when appropriate. These subtle gestures amplify the emotional tone of your conversations. Let's not forget the power of compliments, but make them meaningful. Generic compliments like, "You're so smart," or "You're funny," are nice, but they're forgettable. Instead, be specific. For instance, say something like, "I really admire how you explained that. It shows how much thought you've put into it." Specificity adds depth and authenticity to your words, making the other person feel truly seen. Here's a little Stoic insight to tie it all together. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." In conversations, this translates to showing rather than telling. Instead of trying to impress someone with your qualities, demonstrate them. If you want to be seen as thoughtful, ask thoughtful questions. If you want to be seen as kind, show kindness in how you listen and respond. Now, let's keep this practical. Next time you're in a conversation, challenge yourself to focus on creating an emotional impact. Think about how you can leave the other person feeling valued, understood, or inspired. And here's where you come in, folks. Drop a comment below and share. What's one memorable thing someone said to you that made a lasting impression? Use the words "unforgettable impact" in your comment so we can keep this dialogue going. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more insights into building meaningful relationships and mastering high-value communication. You won't want to miss what's coming next. All right, let's move forward together. Number 3. First impressions spark desire instantly. Hey folks, let's dive into something that has the power to shape how people see you from the very first moment you meet. First impressions. They happen quickly, often in the blink of an eye, but they stick with people for a long time. When it comes to relationships, whether romantic, friendly, or even professional, making a strong first impression is key to setting the tone for everything that follows. So how can you leave an impression that's not just memorable, but magnetic? Let's break it down in a way that's easy to apply to your own life. First off, let's talk about confidence. It's not about being loud or over the top. It's about showing that you're comfortable with who you are. Picture this. You walk into a room. Do you enter with your shoulders back, head held high, and a sense of purpose? Or do you shuffle in, avoiding eye contact? Confidence is about energy, how you carry yourself. It tells people that you know your worth without needing to say a word. The next time you step into a new situation, remind yourself that you belong there. That mindset shift alone can change how others see you. Now let's touch on appearance. No, this isn't about wearing designer clothes or obsessing over trends. It's about being intentional. The way you dress says a lot about how you feel about yourself. Whether you're meeting someone casually or heading into a more formal setting, choose outfits that fit well and reflect your personality. It's less about impressing others and more about showing that you care about the moment. Think of it as non-verbal communication. Before you even speak, your appearance has already made a statement. And speaking of non-verbal communication, let's not forget about eye contact. It's one of the simplest yet most effective ways to connect with someone. When you meet someone new, look them in the eye, not in an intense or awkward way, but with warmth and focus. It shows that you're present, paying attention, and genuinely interested. A steady gaze can do more than 100 words to build trust and spark a connection. Here's another small but powerful gesture, a genuine smile. There's nothing quite as disarming or inviting as a warm, authentic smile. People can sense when a smile is real, so let it reflect how you feel about meeting them. A smile says, "I'm open to connecting with you," and it makes people feel at ease. It's a simple act, but it creates a ripple effect of positivity. Now, when you're in conversation, one thing that makes a big difference is remembering and using their name. It might seem like a tiny detail, but it shows that you're listening and paying attention. If someone introduces themselves, use their name a few times throughout the conversation. For example, "That's a great point, Jamie," or "It's really nice meeting you, Alex." Lie. This small effort makes the interaction feel personal and engaging. Another way to stand out is by being genuinely curious. Instead of focusing on impressing the other person, focus on learning about them. Ask thoughtful questions like, "What's something you're passionate about?" or "What's been a highlight of your week?" These open-ended questions invite them to share more about themselves and create a sense of connection. People remember how you made them feel, and showing curiosity is a great way to leave a lasting, positive impression. Finally, how you end the interaction matters just as much as how you start it. Leave them with something memorable, like a kind comment or a light-hearted note. For example, you could say, "It was great hearing about your recent trip. You've inspired me to look into traveling there myself." Ending on a positive note ensures that when they think back on your conversation, they'll remember it fondly. So folks, here's my challenge for you. The next time you meet someone new, try these tips. Walk in with confidence, make eye contact, smile, use their name, and show genuine interest. Then, let me know how it goes. Share your experience in the comments below and drop the phrase, "First impressions count," to join the conversation. I'd love to hear what worked for you. And before we move on, if you're finding this helpful, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss insights like these. Let's keep growing together, folks. Now, let's move forward. Number 4, push-pull. Master the art of distance. Hey folks, let's dive into a concept that's both subtle and powerful, the push-pull dynamic. At its core, it's about creating a balance between connection and independence in your relationships. This art of distance isn't about playing games. It's about fostering mutual respect and a sense of value. When done right, it can make you unforgettable. Let's start by understanding the basics. Push-pull is all about rhythm. Imagine it like a dance. where you step forward to connect, but also step back to give space. It's not about being manipulative. It's about maintaining a balance that keeps both people intrigued and invested. If you're constantly pushing, giving, chasing, or always being available, you risk coming across as overly eager or dependent. On the flip side, if you're always pulling, distant, unavailable, or aloof, you can seem uninterested or even dismissive. The magic happens when you master both moves. So, how do you strike that balance? First, let's talk about the push. Showing interest and being present are essential in any healthy relationship. But the key is to make your moments of connection meaningful. For instance, when you spend time together, be fully present. Listen intently, engage deeply, and let the other person feel your genuine attention. These moments create a sense of intimacy and build trust. Now, let's shift to the pull. After those meaningful moments, it's important to step back, not to withdraw emotionally, but to create space for both of you to reflect and maintain your individuality. This might look like taking time for your hobbies, focusing on your goals, or simply letting the other person miss you. When you create this space, it adds a layer of intrigue. They'll start to wonder about you, appreciate your presence more, and value the time you spend together. One key to mastering this dynamic is understanding timing. You don't want to pull back too soon after a moment of connection or push forward too aggressively when the other person needs space. Pay attention to their responses and trust your intuition. If they're engaging enthusiastically, lean into the connection. If they seem a bit distant, take a step back and give them room. Here's a common mistake to avoid: overanalyzing the dynamic. Push-pull isn't about micromanaging every interaction. It's about being mindful of the energy you bring to the relationship. When you're authentic and confident in your actions, the balance often happens naturally. Another important aspect of push-pull is respecting boundaries. Distance shouldn't feel like punishment or manipulation. Instead, it should be a natural ebb and flow that strengthens the relationship. For instance, if someone needs time alone, respect that without taking it personally. Similarly, if you need space, communicate it kindly and clearly. Let me share a relatable example. Have you ever noticed how the anticipation of seeing someone after a few days apart can make the reunion feel even more special? That's the pull in action. Distance, when used appropriately, allows you both to recharge and come back to the relationship with renewed energy and excitement. At the heart of push-pull is self-respect. By maintaining your independence and valuing your time, you naturally inspire others to do the same. This isn't about withholding affection or playing hard to get. It's about showing that you have a full, rich life outside of the relationship. People are naturally drawn to those who are confident and self-assured. Before we wrap up, here's a quick tip. Practice gratitude during the pull moments. Reflect on what you appreciate about the relationship and what it brings to your life. When you reconnect, share those thoughts. It creates a positive cycle that deepens the bond while keeping things balanced. So folks, let me ask you, where in your life could you better balance the push and pull? Share your thoughts in the comments with the phrase, "Master the balance," to join the conversation. I'd love to hear how this plays out for you. And hey, if you've been enjoying these insights, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Together, we'll continue uncovering the secrets to stronger, more fulfilling relationships. Now, let's keep moving forward. Number 5. Reconnect with meaning. Thoughtful follow-up. Hey folks, welcome back to another powerful insight on how high-value people communicate in relationships. Today, we're diving into the art of meaningful reconnection. Thoughtful follow-up isn't just about staying in touch. It's about creating moments that deepen your connection and show your investment in the relationship. So, let's start with why thoughtful follow-up matters. In relationships, it's easy to assume that the big gestures or grand declarations are what make the difference. But more often than not, it's the small, intentional moments of follow-up that leave the biggest impact. When you follow up with thoughtfulness, you're saying, I value this connection enough to nurture it actively. Now, what does a thoughtful follow-up look like? It's about paying attention to the details and showing genuine care. For example, if someone mentions a big presentation at work, a family gathering, or even a personal challenge they're facing, make a point to check in later. A simple message like, "Hey, how did that presentation go?" Or, "I hope your weekend with family was wonderful." Ask can go a long way in showing that you were listening and that you care. Here's the key. Thoughtful follow-up is specific. Generic messages like, "Hope you're doing well," lack the depth needed to truly connect. When you refer back to a specific detail they shared, it shows that you were engaged and attentive. This level of care creates a sense of being seen and valued, something that's often overlooked in our fast-paced world. Another powerful aspect of follow-up is timing. You don't want to overwhelm the other person by reaching out too frequently, but you also don't want to wait so long that the moment loses its relevance. Trust your instincts and aim for a balance. If you're unsure, a day or two after the event or conversation is usually a good time frame. It keeps the connection fresh while giving them space. Let's talk about follow-up in different contexts. In romantic relationships, a thoughtful follow-up can keep the spark alive. Maybe you shared a memorable evening together. Follow up with a message that reflects on a specific moment you enjoyed. It could be as simple as, "I can't stop thinking about how much fun we had trying that new restaurant. Let's plan another adventure soon." This kind of message reinforces positive feelings and shows your desire to keep building the connection. In friendships, follow-up strengthens the bond. If a friend mentioned they're feeling stressed about something, check in with empathy. It could sound like, "I've been thinking about you. How are things going with that project you were working on?" Small gestures like these make people feel supported and appreciated. Follow-up is also essential in professional relationships. Maybe you had a productive meeting with a colleague or mentor. Sending a quick note to thank them for their time or to recap key points from the conversation demonstrates professionalism and builds trust. Now, let's explore what not to do. Avoid follow-up that feels transactional or obligatory. People can sense when your effort lacks sincerity. Instead of going through the motions, take a moment to reflect on what genuinely stood out to you in your last interaction. Lead with authenticity. A common mistake is overloading the follow-up with unnecessary information or trying too hard to impress. Remember, the goal is to deepen the connection, not overwhelm or complicate it. Keep it simple, heartfelt, and to the point. Here's a bonus tip. Don't be afraid to add a touch of humor or lightness to your follow-ups. It's a great way to keep the tone uplifting and engaging. For instance, if they mentioned they were nervous about a big meeting, you might say, "I'm sure you crushed it. Do I need to start addressing you as the boss now?" Finally, thoughtful follow-up isn't just about building connections with others. It's also about strengthening your own communication skills. When you practice attentiveness and thoughtfulness, you cultivate habits that make you a more intentional and mindful communicator. Before we move on, I'd love to hear from you. Stoic friends, what's the most meaningful follow-up message you've ever received or sent? Drop your thoughts in the comments with thoughtful touch so we can share ideas and inspire each other. And if this is resonating with you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss an opportunity to grow stronger in your relationships. Let's keep building connections that matter Ready for the next step? Stay tuned. Number 6. Resilience. Build lasting attraction. Hey Stoic friends, let's talk about a trait that not only defines your strength, but also deepens the bond you share with others. Resilience. Building lasting attraction isn't just about charm or fleeting moments of connection. It's about showing your ability to weather life's challenges with grace and steadiness. Resilience is the bedrock of trust, and trust is the foundation of any meaningful relationship. So, what is resilience, and why does it play such a significant role in attraction? At its core, resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity and maintain a sense of balance, no matter what life throws your way. When you demonstrate resilience, you're showing that you're not easily shaken. You exude a quiet confidence that tells others you're dependable, even in tough times. And let's be real, who wouldn't be drawn to someone with that kind of strength? One of the most attractive aspects of resilience is emotional stability. In relationships, conflicts and misunderstandings are inevitable. How you respond in those moments says a lot about who you are. A resilient person doesn't lash out or crumble under pressure. Instead, they take a step back, process their emotions, and respond thoughtfully. This approach not only diffuses tension, but also builds respect. Imagine being the kind of person who can calmly address disagreements without letting emotions spiral out of control. That's magnetic. Resilience also ties into consistency. High-value relationships thrive on reliability. If you're someone who can keep showing up, even when things get tough, you're sending a powerful message. I'm here for the long haul. This kind of stability fosters a deep sense of security, making others feel safe and valued in your presence. Let's explore how resilience translates into action. It starts with self-awareness. Know your triggers and your limits. When you feel overwhelmed, take a moment to ground yourself. Practice mindfulness or engage in activities that recharge you. By taking care of your emotional well-being, you're better equipped to handle challenges in your relationships. Another key aspect of resilience is adaptability. Life is unpredictable, and relationships often face unexpected twists and turns. Whether it's a change in circumstances, a disagreement, or even external stresses. Your ability to adapt shows that you're flexible and open-minded. Instead of resisting change, embrace it as an opportunity to grow together. Let's not forget the importance of communication in building resilience. When challenges arise, don't shy away from addressing them. Speak openly about your feelings, but do so with kindness and empathy. Being vulnerable doesn't make you weak. It makes you authentic, and authenticity is deeply attractive. Now, I know resilience might sound like a heavy concept, but it doesn't mean you have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. Resilience is as much about knowing when to lean on others as it is about standing strong. Asking for support when you need it is a sign of strength, not weakness. It shows that you trust the people in your life and value their input. This shared vulnerability can actually deepen your connections. Resilience isn't just about enduring the tough moments. It's also about celebrating the good ones. Take time to reflect on your victories, big or small. By acknowledging your progress, you're building a positive mindset that attracts others to your energy. People are drawn to those who can find joy and gratitude, even in challenging times. Stoic philosophy teaches us that resilience comes from focusing on what's within our control. You can't control external events or how others behave, but you can control your reactions. By staying grounded in your values and responding with composure, you become a source of strength for those around you. This kind of resilience isn't just attractive, it's inspiring. Before we move on to the next part of this journey, let me ask you, Stoic friends, how do you practice resilience in your own relationships? Share your thoughts in the comments below using the phrase steady strength. Mods, your insights might just inspire someone else to build lasting attraction through resilience. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit subscribe and tap that notification bell. There's so much more to uncover, and I can't wait to continue this journey with you. Let's keep growing stronger together. See you in the next part. Number 7. The power of absence. Play the long game. Hey Stoic friends, let's talk about one of the most understated yet powerful tools in any relationship. Absence. It might sound counterintuitive at first. After all, isn't connection built through being present? But here's the twist. Absence, when used wisely, doesn't break connections. It strengthens them. It introduces longing, appreciation, and a chance for others to see your true value. Think about it. When something is always within reach, it's easy to take it for granted. But when it's absent, even temporarily, its importance becomes crystal clear. This applies to relationships, too. Absence isn't about playing hard to get or manipulating emotions. It's about creating space. Space for reflection, space for appreciation, and space to let the bond grow naturally. Let's dive into why absence is so effective. First, it disrupts predictability. In any relationship, whether romantic or platonic, too much routine can lead to complacency. By stepping back occasionally, you break the monotony and add an element of mystery. You give the other person a moment to pause and think, what are they up to? I miss their energy. This subtle disruption can reignite their interest and deepen their emotional investment. Absence also demonstrates self-respect. When you're not afraid to step away, you're showing that your world doesn't revolve entirely around them. This isn't about being cold or distant. It's about balancing connection with independence. High-value relationships are built on mutual respect. And nothing commands respect more than knowing your worth and having the confidence to maintain your individuality. But let's be clear, absence is not the same as neglect. It's not about ignoring someone or creating unnecessary tension. It's about intentionality. For example, if you're always the one initiating conversations or planning meetings, take a step back. Let the other person come to you. This shift not only balances the dynamic, but also allows them to show their interest in maintaining the connection. Now, you might be wondering, how do you apply this without seeming aloof or disinterested? The key is communication. Let them know you value your time and space. For instance, if you're stepping back to focus on personal goals or recharge, share that with them. This transparency ensures they don't misinterpret your absence as indifference. Absence also works wonders in rekindling appreciation. When someone is always around, it's easy to overlook their qualities. But when they're not, their presence becomes a noticeable void. Suddenly, the little things you bring to the table, the conversations, the laughter, the support, shine even brighter in their absence. This realization can deepen their connection to you and strengthen the bond. Let me share a quick story. A friend of mine was in a relationship where she felt undervalued. She was always available, always accommodating, and her partner had grown complacent. One day, she decided to focus on herself for a while. She started pursuing her hobbies, spending more time with friends, and prioritizing her well-being. She didn't cut off her partner. She simply created a bit of distance. The result? Her partner began to notice her absence and realized how much they had been taking her for granted. The relationship flourished because that brief absence reignited appreciation and respect. Absence also builds anticipation. In a world of instant gratification, waiting can be powerful. Whether it's taking a bit longer to reply to a message or spacing out your time together, these moments of pause make your presence feel more meaningful when you do reconnect. It's like a song with well-placed silences. Those pauses make the notes that follow even more impactful. Finally, Absence fosters personal growth. By taking time for yourself, you not only recharge but also grow as an individual. This growth enhances what you bring to the relationship, making you more fulfilled and engaging. People are naturally drawn to those who exude confidence and purpose, and absence gives you the space to cultivate both. So, Stoic friends, here's the takeaway. Absence isn't about playing games or creating distance for the sake of it. It's about balance. It's about respecting yourself and the relationship enough to allow space for growth and appreciation. It's about understanding that sometimes stepping back can bring you closer. Before we wrap up, let me ask you, how do you use absence to strengthen your connections? Share your thoughts in the comments below with the phrase, "power in space." I'd love to hear your insights and experiences. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today, Stoic friends. Remember, relationships thrive on intentionality, balance, and self-respect. By mastering these principles, you're not just building stronger connections, you're becoming the best version of yourself. If you found value in this video, please give it a thumbs up to let me know. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you won't miss out on more insights into Stoic relationships and personal growth. And one last thing, share your favorite takeaway from today's video in the comments below. Let's keep this conversation going because your perspective matters in this community. Until next time, stay resilient, stay intentional, and as always, take care, Stoic friends. See you in the next video.